You walked in here with a self-diagnosed brain tumor. Instead of kicking you to the curb and calling you a hypochondriac, we ran every test in the book. Not once, but twice to be sure. There was no brain tumor, no pathology of any kind. So do you mind telling me what constitutes a medical malpractice suit?
It doesn't, because our job consists of helping patients that are legitimately sick. And any symptoms you're experiencing are in your head.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Well, then you have no case.
I doubt the court would see it that way. Dr. Drake has already admitted I suffer from a clear psychological disorder in which I experience the most severe emotional distress which is directly tied to my fear of illness. Had any of you been doing your jobs, you would have referred me to a psychiatrist for proper diagnosis and treatment. As you chose to ignore my condition, that makes all of you, including the hospital, negligent.
Oh, well, Mr. Hoffman, you are impressive.
Thank you. I am seeking damages and compensation. But more important, I would like to make sure that other sufferers are not mishandled the way I was.
Mr. Hoffman, you were my patient. It was my responsibility to provide you with treatment.
You were hindered by the incompetence of your confederates.
Then if you believe I tried my best to help you, why don't you let this go? This is a good hospital with some of the best doctors in the country. If you file a malpractice suit, it could do irreparable damage to their careers.
I'm not quite sure how anyone in this hospital could be deemed qualified to practice medicine. Aside from you, of course. The others deemed me beneath their notice and felt that they could dismiss my needs. But they still managed to bill my insurance for their time and so-called treatment.
You were given a full battery of tests at your own insistence.
A clear manifestation of hypochondria, which you blatantly ignored.
Dr. Drake and Dr. Niles did their jobs. I strongly suggest you think twice before going ahead with this lawsuit. Because judges, like doctors, tend to frown on having their time wasted.
I happen to have a considerable amount of experience. 40 years as a trial lawyer, to be exact. And I have more than enough evidence to prove malpractice. Among other things, the conditions at this hospital are terribly unsanitary. Perhaps a call to the health department should be next on the list. I'll be waiting to hear from your attorneys.
I am so sorry for insisting that Theo be admitted. I honestly thought he was lonely and I was...
You had no idea this guy would sue the hospital for malpractice.
But there was no malpractice. Any decent judge will see that.
The hospital board will pay him off before it ever gets that far.
But even though no one did anything wrong?
Doesn't matter. The hospital can't afford this kind of negative publicity. It's sickening. It's a waste. Money that could have been spent on research and new equipment is going to go into the pocket of a raging hypochondriac.
I just can't believe that I'm being sued for telling a patient that there's nothing wrong when there's actually nothing wrong.
Should have been part of the case in the first place.
Well, you know, Theo insisted on speaking with the doctor from the ER. I just happened to be the one in the...
All right, you know what? I'm going to need all your notes and the tests that you ran on Theo Hoffman. Okay? And I'm going to need you to clear your schedules for this afternoon because the three of us need to sit down and strategize.